Guys, what's up? This is John, Gamester81. This video, I'm actually going to dive right into it and showcase two books I recently got. One is the complete SNES Collector's Book, An Ultimate Guide. The other one to my left is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Compedulum. These just got released. Jeffrey Wittenhagen, a friend of mine, just put these out. I'm actually honored to be a part of it in the sense that I contributed some articles along with other fellow YouTube contributors. So it's really cool. It's more of a community event, but certainly these are Jeffrey's books. And he also did the complete NES guide, which I reviewed earlier and kind of showcased. And he's actually putting together a new one called the NES Oddities and Rarities and Homebrew Guide. And that's kind of the unlicensed NES guidebook. And I'm actually really excited for that one. It's gonna be over 500 pages. I'll put a link below. They still have a Kickstarter going on as of filming this video. So I'll put a link below to that. I encourage you guys to check it out. And that's something I'm really excited about because there really isn't much information about all the homebrew games for NES. But let's start with the complete Super Nintendo guide here. To my right, Super Nintendo is seriously one of my favorite consoles of all time, and I love the artwork. This is Joe Simcoe. He's a artist who's done stuff for Garbage Pail Kids, among other things. Really talented artist. And here's some information about Jeffrey's kind of intro with Jeffrey himself. I've actually met Jeffrey several times in person before. Really nice guy. And a little about the Super Nintendo overview, collector's perspective, you know, talking about little collecting and what you want to see, examples of different box types and different, versions of each thing. There, you got the Super Nintendo Mini, of course, and the check box here. So kind of different bundles, variations, so to speak. The controllers, of course, still one of my favorite controllers for any console, I think, Super Nintendo. Seriously, so classic. It's got everything you need. The Advantage, Super Advantage Suite. Yeah, definitely remember a lot of these things for sure. Super Scope 6, definitely remember that. Picture and quality. I remember when the Super Nintendo first came out, man, I was so excited. But basically what this is, it's a checklist for Super Nintendo games. And it's got everything alphabetical, of course. If you're looking for a particular game, it's got screenshots for every game, box art for every game. It's got 3 different box here, so you can do cart, box, manual. So it's pretty cool. I know there's other guidebooks that are going to be coming out. I believe Pat's doing another Super Nintendo guidebook. And a good friend of mine, Brett, is doing a guidebook for the Super Nintendo as well, which is sweet. And so they're all going to be kind of different, different perspectives, of course. Aladdin, I definitely prefer the Genesis version of Aladdin for sure. Final Fantasy 2, 3. I remember when Final Fantasy 2 came out. That was like the ultimate game for me. Still one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. 7 is, of course, up there, of course. I can't go wrong with that. But yeah, so many great games for the Super Nintendo. Absolutely. I'm not going to go through every one because that would just take forever to do that. But you can see the quality of book here. High quality, picture quality, all that good stuff. Street Fighter 2. Sunset Riders, one of the best games for the system. Awesome arcade game. That was a Konami game. So much fun. You could play up to 4 players, I believe, in that game anyway. So much fun. For Super Nintendo port, I think it was only 2, but arcade. Zombie Ate My Neighbors. Actually, it was Konami, but I believe LucasArts had something to do with it as well. And yep, they were the developer, and such a great game. 55 plus levels. And what's cool, here's a kind of Q&A. Here's a little back section. So once you get through all the games, it has other stuff here. So it has a European exclusive. So different versions of, like Europe. And this is really cool stuff that, frankly, I didn't know. So Asterix, I know he was, or I think I'm pronouncing that, probably pushing that wrong, but that was a huge character in Europe, right? So that game whenever it came out. So it's really cool to see these games days before Christmas. See, I had no idea that Sunsoft released that game. And I'm sure a lot of these are pretty hard to come by in North America because they were never released. That's pretty sweet. So if you're wanting information about these games, definitely, this is a good guidebook for you. Smurfs, yeah, of course that was huge. Played the Smurfs, came out for the NES as well, and PAL only. Waterworld. Here are the Grails, so the unlicensed Holy Grail, Polymath Campus Challenge, Power Fest 94. Big shout out to my good friend Mike Urasi. He's actually the guy who won the whole championship. He's come out to the Game On Expo several times and gotten to know him pretty well over the years, and super, super nice guy. And he actually owns... Dorian, actually a good friend of mine, actually owns one of these, which is sweet. I've been able to see it in person. This is cool. Another couple good guys I've known, Dan and Terry, they actually own the Nintendo PlayStation Prototype, which it's a long story, the history of it all, but really, really cool guys. based Nintendo and Sony worked together. Didn't come through, and then Sony left and created this PlayStation, and Nintendo obviously went on and create the N64. But what's unique about the system is it's a CD-based Super Nintendo, so pretty sweet. Cool to see it in person for sure. And the story of how they found it is incredible. Here's some competition carts. These are some, authorized repair carts. Some cool to see pictures. Totally remember the Super system back in the day, entertainment. I have the cart. I don't have that cycle or anything like that. Some more check things here for the, the console there, the Super system. That was kind of the PlayStation Play Choice 10 for the Super Nintendo, basically. I love these kiosks. I'd love to get my hands on one of these fantastic units. The screens just look so awesome. I played Congo. I've played some of these in ROM form before, but nonetheless, great games. And he also has later on the end here, he has a homebrew game. So some of the games I'm working on with Collector Vision, for example, is included in this. There aren't too many homebrew Super Nintendo games, just because it's a hard system to program for compared to the NES. There's hundreds, and that's what the NES Odyssey book is really going to cover. Are those that there's a book game we're working on, Justice Beaver. Yeah, so not as many games. Caverns of Death, another one that we're working on there. City Hunter. Tiny Knight, another one that we're working on. So there's 3 of them we're working on here. And Kickstarter, these are the people who backed it. So very, very cool. The thing about the NES Odysseys right now, they've actually hit their goal. They've actually tripled their goal. So book will be coming out. Here is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Compedulum. And what this is a community book again, where people kind of talk about their favorite games. So, you got people together to talk and showcase. Got some stickers and stuff like that. I think it's like tattoos or stickers or something like that. And so kind of a little about it, talk about their game, stories, histories about it, Virginia baseball, fond memories. Oh, Super Mario Kart. I have fond memories of playing that. I think I'm in here as well. I think I'm page 177. Let's see. I'm talking about just the 16-bit era in general and just why I love it. So I can talk about that. So this is something definitely you can't get online necessarily. This is kind of exclusive to this book. Very cool. It just kind of goes along with, again, it's a couple hundred more pages. Talks about who contributed to it. A lot of these guys are good friends of mine. I know them really well. And good community here, of course. Who's this good-looking guy right there? But anyway, I just wanted to do a big shout-out to both these books. Definitely check them out. You definitely can't go wrong. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Take care, and, of course, game on.